Hi Stu, right, I had this brilliant idea for a vlog, but I think it may be a bit boring. So what I want to do is show you 3 books that I've talked about. But first of all, trick, normal person, teacher, normal person. Right, so the first one, Catcher in the Rye. Okay, when I bought it, it had this wonderful silver cover. As you can see, it's well dog-eared, and I had this with me from pretty much constantly, I guess, from the age of about 16 to leaving college. So 21, I suppose. Goodness knows how many times I've read it. And then I put it away with all the responsibilities of married life and proper jobs and things. And then when I came to it, what did I find inside but that? Me. So that's ruined that book. Also, there are bits which you won't be able to see where I've penciled passages to be read, because I took it to school once and read it out. So I'll just read you the first page and you'll have to skip through this. It's about a young guy who keeps getting thrown out of private school in the States because he doesn't apply himself and he feels alienated and so forth. Chapter 1. If you really want to hear about it, the first thing you'll probably want to know is where I was born and what my lousy childhood was like, and how my parents were occupied and all that before they had me, and all that David Copperfield kind of crap. See why I think this is the one for you. But I don't feel like going into it. In the first place, that stuff bores me, and in the second place, my parents would have about 2 hemorrhages apiece if I told anything pretty personal about them. They're quite touchy about anything like that, especially my father. I mean, they're nice and all, I'm not saying that, but they're also touchy as hell. Besides, I'm not going to tell you my whole goddamn autobiography or anything. I'm just going to tell you about this madman stuff that happened to me around last Christmas, before I got pretty run down and had to come out here and take it easy. I mean, that's all I told DB about, and he's my brother, and he's in Hollywood. That isn't too far from this crummy place. And he comes over and visits me practically every weekend. He's going to drive me home when I get home next month, maybe. He just got a Jaguar, one of those little English jobs that can do around 200 miles an hour. It cost him damn near $4,000. He's got a lot of dough, though. He didn't used to. He used to be just a regular writer when he was home. He wrote this terrific book of short stories called The Secret Goldfish, in case you've never heard of him. The best one in it was called The Secret Goldfish. It was about this little kid that wouldn't let anybody look at his goldfish because he'd bought it with his own money. It killed me. Now he's out in Hollywood, DB, being a prostitute. If there's one thing I hate, it's the movies. Don't even mention them to me. Well, where I want to start telling is the day I left Pensy Prep. Pensy Prep is this school that's in Hagerstown, Pennsylvania. You've probably heard of it. You've probably seen the ads anyway. They advertise in about 1,000 magazines, always showing some hotshot guy on a horse jumping over a fence. Like as if all you ever did at Pensy was play polo all the time. Well, I never even saw a horse anywhere near the place. And underneath the guy on the horse's picture it always says, "Since 1888, we've been moulding boys into splendid, clear-thinking young men." Pfft, strictly for the birds. They don't do any damn more moulding at Pensy than they do at any other school. And I don't know anybody there that was splendid and clear-thinking at all. Maybe 2 guys, if that many. And they probably came to Pensy that way. Okay, that's the first excerpt. So the next book is this. I told you about a story called A Boy and His Dog, set in the future, after a post-apocalyptic world where there's just guys of teenage lads with dogs with whom they communicate telepathically. The reason I'm showing you this one, I'll read you a short bit of this. This is a duplicate. I've got another one of these, and if you'd like, I will post it to you. Can't say fairer than that. If you don't, then that's fine, no offence taken. But the last posting date for Christmas is the 5th of December. And If you'd like it, you can split your address up into 2 halves and send it to my 2 email addresses, and I'll give you them by YouTube mail or something. Okay, so the story Boy and His Dog, and they made it into a movie in the 80s with Don Johnson, the guy from Miami Vice, and it was not a good movie, but the story's good. God, it's not showing, is it? It was an award winner. There you go. So, chapter 1. I was out with Blood, my dog. It was his week for annoying me. He kept calling me Albert. He thought that was pretty damn funny. Payson Terroon. Ha. I'd caught a couple of water rats for him, the big green and ochre ones, and someone's manicured poodle, lost off a leash in one of the down unders. He'd eaten pretty good, but he was cranky. Come on, son of a bitch, I demanded. Find me a piece of ass. Blood just chuckled deep in his dog throat. You're funny when you get horny, he said. Maybe funny enough to kick him upside his sphincter asshole, that refugee from a dingo heap. Fine. I'm not kidding. For shame, Albert. After all I've taught you. But he knew I'd reached the edge of my patience. Suddenly, sullenly, he started casting. He sat down on the crumbled remains of the curb, and his eyelids flickered and closed, and his hairy body tensed. After a while, he settled down slowly on his front feet and scraped them forward till he was lying flat, his shaggy head on the outstretched paws. The tenseness left him, and he began trembling, almost the way he trembled just preparatory to scratching a flea. It went on that way for almost a quarter of an hour. Finally, he rolled over and lay on his back, his naked belly towards the night sky, his front paws folded mantis-like, his hind legs extended and open. Sorry, he said. There's nothing. I could have got mad and booted him, but I knew he'd tried. I wasn't happy about it. I really wanted to get laid, but what could I do? Okay, I said with resignation. Forget it. He kicked himself on his side and quickly got up. What do I want to do? He asked. Not much we can do, is there? I was more than a little sarcastic. He sat down again at my feet, insolently humble. I leant against the melted stub of a lamppost and thought about girls. It was painful. We can always go to a show, I said. Blood looked around the street at the pools of shadow lying in the deep weed-overgrown craters and didn't say anything. The whelp was waiting for me to say, OK, let's go. He liked movies as much as I did. OK, let's go. He got up and followed me, his tongue hanging, panting with happiness. Go ahead and laugh, you egg-sucker. No popcorn for you. OK, so that was A Boy and His Dog.